Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News as part of Cup Week at Addington Raceway. And Darren, before we get into what's going to unfold on show day, what about Tuesday? Just about couldn't go better for the club, turnover-wise, record numbers, back-to-back wins in the Cup for copy that. Two favourites got home and the other two Group 1s, True Fantasy, of course, and Don't Stop Dreaming. Just overall an outstanding race day.
Yeah, look, it was. There's so many things to talk about, Greg. We'll go over all of them in more detail next week because we're not racing next week, so we can spend a bit of time on that. I think the Addington Facebook page is a place to go and have a look at. There's a billion photos there and a great wee video that the marketing team, Tate, our new man on course here, has put together, which is quite cool. And, just soaking all that up. Absolutely rapt to be New Zealand's #1 race meeting, as we have been the last 10 years, or the top 10 race meetings of all time, turnover-wise. Addington Cup Day takes 7 of those 10 spots, and the #1 spot at 7.5 million, really wrapped with that. But look, we'll go into that more detail next week. The big meeting tomorrow is another huge premier meeting, of course, as part of Cup Week. Quickly run through what's happening there. So it's a gold coin donation to get into the course. The gates open at 10:30. Effectively, all of the grass areas outside the public can take up. Lanson lawn, what was the Bacardi on the lawn area, that's all just public area. There's umbrellas and everything, so you're encouraged to come straight onto the footprint and go to those if you want to. The public can also have access to the Christian Cullen Lounge, which the owners will also have access to. And the Silks level, the Glaston level, will be for members and also for owners if they choose to go up there. Owners just use their normal lanyard, their owner's lanyard that they'll have. If they haven't got one, call into the foyer of the newsstand there, and someone will sort you out for that. There's race books on sale at the reception desk just inside the newsstand, or just inside the stand. We've got spectators as the only area downstairs that's fully booked out already, so that's a separate function, but will be open to the public straight after the last race and through to about 8:30, so if you want to have a beer after the last, you can. As I say, gold coin donation to My Healthcare, which we're very keen that we do that. What else do I need to tell you? Bacardi on the lawn area and the Lanson lawn, there'll be food and bedding facilities and everything there, so anyone can really pretty much enjoy themselves on the ground level, or if it's a little bit cooler, go up into Christian Cullen. There's some kids' activity on top of the roof, on the stables roof as well, with Mr. Whippy and a number of things there. So I think that's probably all we need to worry about. Race 1, 12 o'clock, 13 races, so another mammoth program. So we want to get into a full meeting preview so that you can have a look at that tonight, do a bit of swap before tomorrow. So let's go, Greg. Race 1, IRT, Your Horse, Our Passion, Mobile Trot 1980 at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, just quickly, I'll give you a couple that you might want to back if you don't want to watch the whole preview. I reckon Sunny Louis will go very close in race #1. Of course, we've got the McArdle Lodge south of the Waitakes, race 2. Teddy Baker versus Street Art, but I reckon Joe's Rocks, so race 2, #8 is definitely an each-way chance there. Gandalf will be hard to beat in race #3, and Paramount Empress in race #4. So there's a wee way to kick off your first 4 races, Darren, and we'll see how we're going after that. But let's get into that full meeting preview. Sunny Louis, for me, massive chance. He's a really smart 3-year-old. He's aiming at the Derby in about 3 weeks' time, and I think he'll go forward, get the lead here, and I think the 380 is a tremendous price. So I'm happy to be on him. Equal favourite with him's Miss Yo, the filly by Peak for Jack Harrington, and the man of the week so far. 3 wins on Cup Day for Blair Orange, including the Cup with Copy That. It's got a big chance from barrier 3. Of course, Sunny Louis comes in a couple of spots with the scratchings. Alatine for Craig and Amy Edmonds, who got a winner on Cup Day too. And Wi-Fi has the ability to get in the top 4. Just I don't see Wi-Fi as being a winning prospect. But yep, get into Sunny Louis in race #1.
Race 2, so first leg of the early quaddie, the McArdle Lodge trains south of the Waitaki Mobile Pace, 2600 at 227, a really good feature as part of Cup Week with those Southlanders. They love to come up and get some money off us, take some money off us, and they get their own race here to do it with, Greg.
Yeah, and they got some money on Tuesday. Of course, Snow Robin getting there by a short margin. And, yeah, fantastic to have the Southerners up here, as it invariably always is. I reckon Joe's Rock can beat the 2 horses with the great form lines, Teddy Baker and Street Art. There won't be much between those 3. I thought Teddy Baker and Street Art might have a bit of a war, and Joe's Rock might be the benefactor of that, or Blair Orange has the option to go forward. So if he does either, I reckon he can just about win it. So I'm happy to have the 8 over the 6 and 4. 8 No Angel's got a beautiful draw to operate from too. So good race, but happy to be each way on Joe's Rock.
Race 3, the Peninsula Beachfront Resort Mooloolaba Mobile Pace, 1980 at 12.55.
Yeah, Barry Purdon, Scott Phelan, Zachary Butcher, Gandalf. Nice trial to get ready for this. And behind it, Merlin led up on that occasion, has barrier 1. Big chance, I think, to take it out. Over 8 Dance Till Dawn. She's had no luck. Big 4th it was at Ashburton in that Neville heat. And then here on Cup Day, I thought it was a good run behind Celtic Spirit. So I give Dance Till Dawn a good chance. Da Vinci didn't get a start on Cup Days, likely to go forward. Maybe get the lead off Gandalf, maybe not. That may determine Da Vinci's chances in this. And Moonlight Dreams had no luck lately, and I thought the Cup Day performance for Andrew Stewart and Robbie Close was excellent. No reason to think she can't get some money again, but I'm happy to be on Gandalf in race 3.
Race number 4, Fahey Fence Hire Mobile Trot 1980, 129.
Yeah, trotting filly I really like, Paramount Empress. Double Delight will give her plenty to think about in the Oaks in a couple of weeks, but I reckon she can win this race. She was a winner here 2 starts back, and then 3rd behind Mystic Max in the Hambletonian. So that's a tremendous form line for this. So I'm happy to be with her. Majestic Love for Phil and Nathan Williamson has a nice barrier draw. Was a good Wyndham winner last time. Miss Alyssa always races this this time of year. Of course, won this day last year from memory. Finished 2nd on Cup Day. So she really does race tremendously well at this venue. And at this time, and It's So Easy is a mare that's really starting to come to it, and I expect her to be pretty competitive too. But no, I'll be with Paramount Empress in the 4th.
One of the real features of Show Day's race 5, the Graphite Developments Phil and Glennis Kennard Show Day Futurity, a mobile pace 2600, Greg 204 for 30k.
Yeah, Bark. He's well named. We plenty of punters barking at him to get home too, because he's only $2.10. He's lost his compasses last couple, but he is much better than that, and I expect him still to be the one to beat over the 2,600 metres. So Bark on top, but Jezebel will be there for a long way. She'll get off the gate really quickly for Robert Anderson, who drives her. Her 2 runs to date have been very good behind Daredevil and Sweet Diamond. Look, when and if she decides to hand up may well determine her winning chances, but I reckon she's almost a lock, Darren, for top 3. And if you're looking to multi her up, she's sort of $2.30, $2.40 a place. Gee, she's a great chance. She's done nothing wrong so far. Teresa Love, the 13, trained by Regan Todd, Robbie Close, great combination, keeps racing well by the mighty Terror to Love. And Tactile's got a good barrier draw, maybe a first 4 player, but I like the Cornella, Jezebel, and Bark.
Race number 6 is the Icon Architects Handicap Trot 2600 at 239, Greg. And these races are turning up roughy after roughy. Boss Kenny at odds, Franco Josiah at odds on Cup Day, and the competitive races have been for a long time. Not always the favourite gets home in these sort of races.
No, I'll tell you what, this is no easier, Darren. This is a really hard race. Hot to Trot's on his way to the Derby, and he's racing in tremendous form. Was 2nd behind Mystic Max in that race, the Hambletonian I was just talking about before. It's quite a big ask, but he's 4-year-old in the old, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm happy to go with him on top, but I give a great each-way chance to Royal Dell, who's $40. Go back and have a look at his run on Cup Day. No luck. If it steps and rolls along, he's a pretty smart horse, this bugger. I'll give him a good chance. Harold Smith was great on Cup Day, 2nd behind Franco Josiah. I'm happy to leave him out this time because he got the lead and dominated, and that's all cool, but he won't be doing that this week unless he absolutely charges through them. And who knows, John Morrison, 2 wins on Cup Day. You probably can't count that out. The other one I gave a chance was Peregrine. If you have a look at her performance, she had no luck, and Blair Orange is taking the reins again. And then you've got the excellent 3-year-old, the favourite for the Derby in Highgrove, but he's off 20 metres with Call Me Trouble. So on these days, it's very difficult to start off marks and give the quality of field. I haven't even mentioned I Dream of Jeannie, who I thought could win on Cup Day and ended up sitting park. So it's just a tremendous contest. Son of Patrick's there as well. So find the one you like in race number 6, but I'll plumb with Hot to Trot, but I reckon there's a good chance Royal Dell can run a drum.
As part of the sort of restructure of races with the change of birthday, we end up with the 2-year-old size stakes fillies final. Dunstan, of course, sponsor this one. Group 1 race, 1980, 317, Greg, and a great field of fillies.
Well, you've got a filly here who's unbeaten. 6 from 6. Didn't work out for Merlin from the draw on Tuesday. And Millwood Nike is going to have to be at her absolute best to win this. She may very well be too good for them. But the theory here is Kalua Flyby will lead, sitting in the trail Advance Party. I love Advance Party. I reckon she might end up being the best of them all, even as good as Millwood Nike is. Regardless, they're going to have some wonderful clashes. So I'm going to plumb for Advance Party here. Sitting in the trail behind Kalua Flyby means Millwood Nike's going to have to come around them, go around and sit parked. And I don't think the lead will be there. So I'm happy to be with Advance Party over Millwood Nike. It could just easily as be her being too good for them. So it's just going to be a great clash. Kalua Flyby's done nothing wrong. And Treacherous Gal's a really nice filly too for Regan Todd. I keep saying the Regan Todd Robbie Close combination. I'm expecting them to have a pretty good day tomorrow. But I think the best bet in the race is Advance Party.
Race number 8 is the first leg of pick 6, returns to the last 6 races on this program. The Advanced Joinery Mobile Pace, 1980, and that gets underway at 3:52.
Been a tough week so far for horses that have drawn the back row over the 1980, but if you get a chance to have a look at Sporty Charlie's performance on Tuesday, if he gets into the right spot, I believe he can be one horse that can come from there. Trained by Colin Julie de Philippi, Colin back in the bike, really strong late in the race, won by Snow Robin. They went a tremendous time in that. I think he can win this race. I'm happy to be each way on him. Over Celtic Spirit, who upset them on Cup Day. On that performance, wouldn't need to lift much to do that again and be very hard here. O'Need Mickey was part of that unfortunate incident in the last race on Tuesday. His form prior to that was outstanding, so you have to have him in, provided he can bounce back. And Red Right Hand will give you a sight from the inside. Can get off the machine pretty quickly, and I think the first time it's had a barrier in a wee while. So Robbie Close, Andrew Stewart, top 4 chance. As is probably all by myself, who's likely to go forward. But good race, the 8th, but each way the 14.
Race number 9 is the race that's normally the Neville Southern Mares Classic, mobile race for 4-year-old and older mares, 1980 at 4:22. This year named in honour and memory of Bob McArdle by Neville and the associates with that. And great to see Bob recognised on a major feature day, and we're pleased to have a small but select field of mares going around in his name.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the Bromac name goes hand in hand with so many great horses. And of course, Cruz Bromac winning the Cup. He was a huge part of the breeding scene around the world, not just here in New Zealand, around the world. Bob McArdle, he was known everywhere, and he made a huge contribution. And you're right, it's great to have him around. He'd love this race, Mares race, with all the quality that we've got here. Darling Me's the favourite. Gee, she's going to have to be good from out there. Manhattan will go forward. Bob Butt with a taste of honey. And the key to the race, Kickarangi Blue from the inside, Darren. Again, this is a first top 3 or top 4 play of the day. Leaves the gate very quickly, likely to hand up to its stablemate Manhattan. If that happens, she is absolutely in the money for mine. So happy to be on her. Kickarangi Blue. For second behind Darling Me, I still think she's the best horse in the race. And Manhattan's in the fight, and probably Bob's other one, a taste of honey for your first 4s. But yeah, one of the top 3 bets of the day, Kickarangi Blue, but Darling Me on top.
Race number 10, the first leg of the Lake Quaddie, is the Renwick Farms Dominion Trot. Paul and Pauline Renwick, such a massive part of Addington Raceway and huge sponsors with us, and we've got an outstanding field for this Group 1 race over 2 Mile Creek, which kicks off at 4:52.
Yeah, look, it was probably a little bit of trepidation from the racing department, yourself and Brian Rabbit, about, gee, will we end up with a full field? There wasn't a huge amount of nominations, but you guys will be delighted now, because outside of Bolt for Brilliance, everything else is there. All the other horses you hope would be in the race, including the 2-time champion Sunday Sun, who's now back in winning form. So he's come up $1.70. He's come up with barrier 7. He'll work forward. He'll get the lead. He'll probably run them into the deck again. And if he's able to do that and replicate last year's 356 and change that he ran, then he'll probably win again, Darren. And how cool to have him a 3-time winner of this great race. So yeah, I'm happy to be with him. Muscle Mountain's a problem from one. He'll need to step away quickly. We saw what happened to Self Assured in the Cup. He's likely to get back on the inside. Can he go with Sunday Sun? We know the answer to that. Yes. Can he go with him over 3,200? Well, the answer we will find out close to 5 o'clock on Friday. But you've got to have him in your top two. Five Wise Men's building. He's building nicely. And I can see him getting in on the markers and getting a good run. And I think Tim Williams will give him every chance. And Smokin' Bandar can bounce back. We heard from Craig Ferguson that he just didn't handle that Kaikoura bend, which is quite tight, but he loves Addington Raceway. I tell you what, he'll put himself right there, and I can see him going a cracking race. So I've gone 7, 1, 3, and 6. But your Matuatanas, Majestic Man, back in form on Cup Day, Midnight Dash, so consistent. Oscar Bonavina, is he back to something like his best? A great contest, the Renwick Farms Dominion. And you're right about Paul Renwick, former president of New Brighton, huge contribution to the game. Breeds about 15 or 16 horses a year, probably 20 to be honest. 15 go to the sales. He and his family are going to have a great day tomorrow, and we really respect what he's been able to do for this place, Addington Raceway, that's for sure.
Majestic Man, of course, successful Cup Day, Greg, and that's a huge syndicate that make a lot of noise and really enjoy themselves. And I know the connections of Five Wise Men aren't afraid to make a bit of noise when he's successful, so they'll be looking for a big day. But we wish all the connections of all of the horses in the Group 1s, particularly the Dominion Trotting Handicap, all the very best for the day. Race number 11 is the XEM Sport Mobile Pace 1980 at 5:27.
Yeah, like the Quinella here, 2 over 1. Franco Indy, Chell Patch. Franco Indy, enormous on Cup Day. Gets to the markers at any stage, just about wins it. Very brave and fourth behind Heisenberg. From barrier 2, I expect him to get there. He'll get there quickly. Chell Patch will sit in the trail again. That's a video you need to watch from Tuesday. Terrific performance to get 6th in that Heisenberg race. So I give it a great Quinella and certainly a top 4 chance. I'd be putting it straight in the book. Last Tango in Heaven was excellent at Kaikoura, comes into the meeting fresh. Tony Herlihy and Beach Ball, if it's going to the Derby, will need to perform in this race, so I don't count it out. And I suppose Heisenberg has to be given a chance again, Darren, because it follows through Chell Patch, might sit through the fence, and we know that'll be a great spot too. But, yeah, I'll go 2 over 1 in race number 11.
Race number 12, the Air Park Canterbury New Zealand Pacing Free-for-All Group 1 level at 1,980 metres, kicks off at 5:57, Greg. Almost a capacity field, only one spot missing. And this is a race that every year we see something very, very special happen, either speed-wise or performance-wise. And I think that there is all of the makings of that happening in this race, particularly the 2 Australian horses, the 2 Taufa horses where they've drawn, and then all of the rest of the horses that are in this race have the ability to cause upsets. Old Town Road's time, according to the Ultimate Racebook, the adjusted time, his last mile in the New Zealand Cup in 1:51 and change to run 6th. So we could see something very, very special in this race I'm picking.
Oh, look, it'll be on for young and old here. You know that the Telfer team are going to go where barrier 1 and won the second row to give themselves their best opportunity. Older Wise Guy has to lead and lead at all cost. But you've got a former free-for-all winner in Spankham. He'll come out very hard. Self Assured was unlucky in the Cup. I'm absolutely certain he'll have to go forward. Rock and Roll Do doesn't have any early speed, but he'll be making his way probably to park at the winning post, and then there'll be no one else can get there because Mick Stanley will be saying, I need to get some money for my owners here. I need to get some money in the free-for-all after missing away in the Cup. That brings in Old Town Road, Majestic Cruiser, and all of those horses that have to move as well. And Cranbourne, who was so brave and behind Republican Party, is drawn up beautifully in 4. Does Matty Williamson press the go button? I found it incredibly hard to work out exactly where things are going to fall. I ended up settling on Rock and Roll Do because I think he'll just get to parked, and if he goes like he did in the Victoria Cup, then I think he'll win the race. So I'll go for him over Self Assured, who must be back to something like his best because he was so unlucky on Tuesday. Mark Purden back in the bike. Spankham so honest and should put himself right in the fight throughout. And Majestic Cruiser's run in the IRT New Zealand Cup had to be seen to be believed. I don't remember a horse coming 4 and 5 wide on a speed like that and nearly running down the leader, even though he got beaten a length. It was a stunning performance, so you have to have him in. Great Air Park Canterbury New Zealand Pacing Free-for-All. Can't wait for it.
The last race of cup meeting for Addington Raceway is the Spectators' new menu mobile pace, race 13 at 90 over 1980 metres, Greg, at 6:33.
I need a bit of luck here with Here's Herbie, but he was so good to us in the last race on Tuesday. I'm going to go for him again. If he gets any luck, I think he'll be in the Cup next year. I think he's the best of the Colin de Philippi team, and he's a sport included. I reckon this guy's going to go all the way. So if he gets any luck, take the $7.50 because I think that's great value. I give him a massive winning chance. Fernley Cash was terrific at Kaikoura in the age pace behind Warlock. Nearly took that one out. No Time Like Now, won on Cup Day last year, win a tremendous race again on Tuesday. You know where he'll be heading, somewhere near the front for Blair Orange. And Steal the Show was very, very unlucky on Tuesday. Tough week for Steal the Show. Outside second row, but like Sporty Charlie drew 9, and then outside second row, this horse has had, exactly the same draws. It's not easy for him, but if he can get into the race, the horse that finished 4th in the Cup last year can certainly get some money in the last. Really good program, Darren. The turnover was phenomenal on Tuesday. I think it will be again tomorrow, and hopefully that's helped the punters out and steered them in the right direction.
Yeah, I think Here's Herbie's a great chance, Greg. We've got to remember he's a 3-year-old, so he'll make his way to the New Zealand Derby at the Grand Prix meeting in just 3 weeks' time. So you sort of forget that he's only 3. He's doing such a great job racing against these older horses. As you say, look, we hope that's steered you in the right direction. We appreciate all of the support that we've had over Cup meeting. We want you to enjoy the day tomorrow. As we say, gates open at 10:30. Gold coin donation to support one of our charities, and Spectators open to the public after the last race through to 8:30. We'll have a bigger wrap on everything next week, but enjoy the meeting, and we hope you make $1.
Yeah, beautiful.